Hi. So if you can rank in AI search, in addition to ranking on Google, you're going to be on top of everybody else. You're going to be able to lead out. Your brand's going to be known, and you're going to do well. So I think we need to talk a little bit about how AI algorithm works. To understand that, I don't want to get too theoretical, but we've got to understand a little bit about it so we can see any places where we can do things a little bit differently than regular SEO, and we can apply GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, in a way that will allow us to beat our competitors. So let's get started. I think one of the first things we need to do is look at the workflow for AI algorithm. How does it gather data? Or how does it make decisions? How does it rank things? So really quickly, let me just show you. We have data collection, data processing, content understanding, and then it's got to make sense of things, and it's going to score things, and once it scores it, then it knows how to rank it. And I want to go into more detail on each one of these things and see if there's areas where you can say, oh, that needs to be a little bit different than regular SEO. So stick with me. I'm looking at a blog that I created with the help of AI, asking AI how it works. And because GEO is a new concept, a new kind of twist on SEO, and I've watched a number of videos, I've done quite a bit of research, I'm trying it myself, but I'm also asking ChatGPT how it does things. And here's what it's told me. So let's start with data collection. Data collection happens by looking at multiple sources. It mentions here web pages, proprietary databases, and public data sets. Well, the web pages mean SEO is pretty important. If we don't rank on the web pages, we're not going to get found by generative engines. Obviously, proprietary databases would be nice if we could get in academic and other literature if that's appropriate. Government, statistics, all those would be good too. Key insights, ensure that your content is accessible to crawlers using clean, structured HTML and avoiding barriers like paywalls. So I don't think that's a big deal other than I don't think you can rate on generative engines unless you rank on web pages, unless you do good SEO. Next, data processing. I don't want to go too much detail, but the second thing is it removes duplicates. It gets rid of irrelevant content. It looks for spam. But the first thing is tokenization, where it breaks down everything it brings in, all the words, everything it has into smaller units, and then it figures out how to make sense of them, or at least breaks it down. Next thing it will make sense of them. Then it organizes it into topics, domains, and things like that. So is there anything implications? Well, here it says if AI engines clicked 2 articles on GEO strategies, it selects the most comprehensive, incredible one for further analysis. I think that's still very common with SEO. So we haven't got too many great insights yet, but let's go on. Content understanding. This is where natural language processing comes to play. And this is how it understands things. And at first it looks for the context, understanding how words, phrases relate to one another in different scenarios. And it gets better and better at that. It can understand the context. It can also understand the user intent and applies meaning. So here it says the phrase optimized for GEO is interpreted as improving content visibly for AI-driven recommendations, not just general optimization strategies. This is kind of a key because right here, if we're thinking, when people search on AI, they probably search differently than they do on Google. They're searching for a definitive answer that we need to probably phrase it so it works for the definitive answer. I'll come back to that. Next, it scores it. How does it score the content? Is it the right keyword? It looks and says, does this keyword match with the query? Very similar to SEO. The depth of coverage, is it very comprehensive? SEO worries about that too, but it seems even more important here. Content alignment, is the content structured in a way that directly addresses the query? Well, once again, if we're asking more questions that want definitive answers, then we probably need to make sure that we create content like how to implement GEO or benefits of GEO would score better than just GEO strategies. Okay, next. By the way, I will have a link to this blog post in my description down below, so you'll find it there. For those of you that are trying to understand how to compete in the new world as AI changes things. Next is ranking and output. I think this one's kind of important because it says content for credible, well-cited sources. That's going to give more authority to those things, and also it's going to use metrics like engagement, bounce rates, and click-through rates, which is also very similar to SEO. So some key factors. I want to go down pretty quickly to, relevance, keyword matching, very similar. Authority, you have backlinks from reputable sites. This seems just like regular SEO, although the more I read, the more I look into it, backlinks are getting harder and harder because AI has made it so content is everywhere. It's proliferated. And so we're going to probably have to do, in fact, one of my next videos is going to be how do you do backlinks in a world where people can make so much content, and pretty good content. How do you get backlinks? I will address that next. Citations, this is not the typical citations in local SEO, but is it do you cite other sources that are credible? And then content consistency, regularly publishing, are you there all the time? So that's tough, but those are the people who rank high on generative engines, same way as they will in search engines. A couple of things, looks very similar, click-through rate, dwell time, readability, this is interesting. It says complex wording is not going to be appreciated by generative engines. Want to get more simple, right to the point. It also says add images, charts, and videos because it's going to give preference to that, which I think search engines do too. So practical tip. Here's an interesting practical tip. It looks like structured data is going to become more important, especially with things like FAQ. So I'll make a video on that. We're going to have to be niche topics on topics that we think AI is going to be interested in. A lot more multimedia. Have to make sure we regularly update it. Our content's fresh. We have new content regularly, and then we also keep it updated. And then the dwell time, the other user interactions, make sure that we do well there. So those are a few things I want to look at. I think it's pretty important. For me, I think we need to understand that how do I get backlinks in this new world? And then what other things can I do to make sure that it's organized in a clean manner that's approved by AI engines? And those are the things we'll be dealing with next.